Welcome back to my astrology basics crash course. We've gone over, I think this is the 8th episode, and we're going to be covering generational planets today. So, generational planets, they define those in the same generation as you, whereas personal planets define you as an individual. These ones you're going to have in common with people born up to a year to 30 years. Around the time you were born. So that's pretty cool. The first one is Jupiter. It remains in a sign for 12 to 13 months. It's the great benefic. It represents joy, optimism, expansion, religion, philosophy, and spirituality. It rules Sagittarius and the ninth house. Saturn is it rules restrictions, boundaries, and responsibilities, and it remains in a sign for 2 to 5 years. Something we'll have to go over soon is the Saturn return. I'm currently going through my Saturn return, so I definitely have a lot to say about it. But it rules Capricorn, the 10th house, and co rules Aquarius. Up next, we have Uranus. It remains in a sign for about 7 years. It signifies sudden and unexpected events, revolutions, innovation, quirkiness, rebelliousness, and technology. And it co rules Aquarius. Neptune stays in a sign for 13.5 years. Neptune signifies creativity, spirituality, music, deception, and illusion. It rules Pisces in the 12th house. At one point in the late 80s and 90s, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune were all in Capricorn. And when you have 3 or more planets in a sign, that's called a stellium. So all those babies had right out of the womb. I mean, obviously, everybody who has a stellium has a stellium right out of the womb. That was weird of me to say. But anyway, just in the generational planets alone, they had a Capricorn stellium. I was born a little bit later in 94, and so Uranus and Neptune were still in Capricorn. And I also have a Capricorn stellium because I have 2 personal planets in Capricorn. But I thought that was pretty cool that just in generational planets alone, all those babies had a Capricorn stellium. And last up, we have the generational planet. Pluto stays in the sign from 11 to 30 years. I think it usually stays in the sign for about 20. It rules death, transformation, merging of souls, sex, and destruction. And it rules Scorpio in the 8th house. And something fun to think about, actually not that fun, but Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008. And Capricorn has to do with money. And that's when all the recession stuff happens. So it's interesting that Pluto just now entered into Aquarius. So it's going to be there for about 20 years. So that's going to probably see a lot of change in technology and stuff like that. But that's all for this episode. And next time we're going to be covering opposite signs. So I'll see you then.